Hey guys, good morning, good night, wherever you are. Welcome to the Filecoin Frontier Demo Day. I'm Emma, CEO of Longhash Ventures. So great to have you all here today.
Hi everyone, Shikai here, COO at Longhash Ventures. And today, we're so excited to share the tremendous progress that we've made with you.
Over the last 6 months, we've worked very closely with Protocol Labs in accelerating a pioneering batch of ecosystem projects across the middleware layer and application layer in the Filecoin ecosystem. To think that we're part of the journey of laying out the foundation for the decentralized web, and especially the decentralized storage layer, is truly an amazing feeling.
Yeah, indeed. And to think back just a few years ago, when we started Longhash Ventures in 2018, it was exactly this vision of Web3, of enabling anyone to participate in the creation of value and shared ownership that got us to fully commit to the ecosystem, even though it was more of an ideal back then. It's mind-blowing how far we've all come, even though it's still at the early stage.
Totally. I think in 3 years, we've achieved a lot. We've accelerated a total of 30 companies, raised $60 million for these companies. We've also built strategical partnerships with leading protocols such as Filecoin and Polkadot and helped them to launch their Asia Accelerator. And lastly, we've also launched a DeFi-focused $50 million fund earlier this year. And to go along with that, we've launched the Asia DeFi Network, which is a venture building platform to support DeFi projects in this part of the world.
Yep. And specifically for the Filecoin Frontier Accelerator, let's take a moment to also appreciate everyone who has been supporting us, supporting the founders, including all the mentors who took the time to share the feedback and insights. We've had such generous support with mentors from Protocol Labs, Fenbushi, Hashkey, Polychain, IPFS, Fleek, UNICEF, CMS, Kinetic, Hashed, NGC, Coefficient Ventures. The list really goes on. So the best part is all of these sessions were recorded and everyone can check them out and benefit from them on our YouTube channel under Longhash Ventures.
That's great. And I can't wait to get to the pitches. But before that, I want to introduce the founder of Protocol Labs, Juan Bennett. Let's hear it from him in terms of what his vision is for the Filecoin ecosystem.
Good morning, everyone. I am thrilled to speak with you today at the Filecoin Frontier Accelerator Demo Day. Building the future requires a great vision of how things could be so much better. It also requires great effort to build products that people want and to build the teams and organizations to make them. And it also requires achieving great impact. Effort alone does not guarantee success. Great teams need to focus on achieving measurable results and achieving great impact in their ecosystems and economy. Today, you'll hear from 11 great teams building the future. These teams are tackling great challenges in education, healthcare, markets, games, NFTs, DeFi, CDNs, AI, and more. I am very impressed with the products these companies are building, and even more impressed with the potential impact long-term. I'm very proud that Filecoin and IPFS are helping these teams solve these big challenges, and I'm thrilled to welcome these amazing companies into the broader ecosystem. Before we hear from them, I'd like to remind us why Web3 matters. In around 80 years, computing has transformed our species. We now have superpowers beyond the imagination of our ancestors. Billions of humans and trillions of computers live and work together, deeply interconnected, deeply intertwined. Everything we do nowadays is mediated by some computer somewhere. Most of our activity happens through applications and devices that are using the internet to communicate. The internet is granting us constantly some new kind of superpower delivered to us through applications in our devices. And even much larger changes are coming as augmented reality, virtual reality, brain-machine interfaces, autonomous driving, AI systems, and potentially AGI systems someday start coming online. So in a short span of time, computing has radically transformed our species. And if we look ahead for another 80 years, it is going to do so yet again, many times over. Our computing infrastructure must be secure, it must be scalable, and it must be decentralized. It's going to matter so much to our future that we can count on our computing infrastructure. Web3 is the next generation of the internet. It is a computing infrastructure powered by crypto economics. It is making the web read, write, trust. It's bringing verifiability into every application we use. And in a very short span of time, Web3 is already changing everything. There's all kinds of systems being built that are changing the fabric of finance, of law, of contracts, of even art and media, and so on. Pretty much every single application on the internet can be improved with some kind of verifiability, can be improved by some kind of decentralization, and Web3 can make our systems much more secure. I think it's still early days. We will see a lot more happen over the next 5 to 10 years. Filecoin is a decentralized storage network designed to store humanity's most important information. It launched about 6 months ago, and already the network has amassed an enormous amount of capacity. We're pushing around 4.4 exabytes of capacity. And there's already a very fast growing amount of storage deals in the market. So these are clients that are using the storage in Filecoin. And what's pretty amazing to us is that we're already saturating the chain bandwidth. Both the onboarding of capacity and onboarding of deals is just saturating the chain bandwidth, and we're basically rate limited by this scalability. A lot of the team is now hard at work scaling Filecoin and looking ahead to break through these bottlenecks. But it's pretty amazing to be here. The ecosystem is also exploding with a whole host of different applications and systems. Everything from different kinds of systems and tools to help miners, different kinds of systems and tools for the storage market or retrieval market, and also end user applications that are starting to build very high quality consumer products. You'll get to see some of those today. I am super proud of all of the things that people are making with Filecoin, and I can't wait to see what's coming this year. I think that this year we'll see many different applications be started. It's also amazing that in this time period, we are getting to see the next wave of Web3 happening. There's a lot of new generation chains using proof of stake, new kind of contract languages, and a great expansion in the throughput that these chains can support. And at the same time, Filecoin is amassing a large amount of storage to provide long-term data storage and long-term data connectivity to all of these other blockchains. So we're looking forward to a super interconnected landscape with many blockchains directly storing the data they compute on Filecoin. There's already a lot of really exciting bridges being built, and there'll be a lot more over time. There's also an amazing set of primitives that are being invented now around making oracles, storage oracles, or storacles as they're being called. These are going to be really interesting structures connecting Filecoin to other blockchains and enabling different kind of long-term storage. Well, as you're thinking of building things this year, think of the entire economy of Filecoin and think of all the different segments of potential users. There's miners, there's developers, researchers, clients, token holders, manufacturers of hardware, creators of different kinds of storage-related goods and services. All of these different segments have all kinds of needs. And so applications and services can be built for all of these users. It's a great year for developers. There's tons of opportunities to build new ideas. There'll be lots of hackathons, lots of accelerators, and many grants and investors looking to support your potential businesses. So if you're a developer out there, I encourage you to learn. Use all of the great developer resources out there. Use hackathons to form a team and start hacking on things and try things out, build potential products and launch them and see how they go. And then if you find something that's working really well, I strongly encourage you to apply to one of the several accelerators that are going to be going on this year. And then from there, you can look to supporting your work through grants and investors and other different kind of structures. I am super proud of what Filecoin Frontier Accelerator has achieved in this short time period. It's been a phenomenal program, supported a really great set of companies. And really thank you to all of the organizers and all the mentors who have helped make this possible. Your help to the has really been phenomenal for all these companies. So again, thank you so much to these amazing teams solving these tremendous challenges. I am so proud of you. Great work, and looking forward to working with you for years to come. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Juan. Indeed, it's such an exciting time to be building on Filecoin right now. So with that, let's go right into the pitches. But before we start, I'd like to remind everyone that if you'd like to get in touch with the teams, please check out the link in the YouTube description anytime, or you can go to our website at longhashventures.com/Filecoin, and you'll get the link to get in touch with each of the teams. All right, with that, let's go to our first pitch of the day. For this first pitch, we're jumping right into an area that has taken the world by storm: NFTs. Please welcome Curio Digital.
Hello, my name is Juan Hernandez, and I'm from Curio. We are an NFT platform and exchange focused on digitizing experiences within the media and entertainment industry. Now, why are these famous brands all digitizing their content lately? Simply put, it's because NFTs have the potential to unlock tremendous opportunity to monetize their IP. The largest use case we've seen to date has been in the sports trading card world with NBA Top Shot, but certainly NFT technology has a lot of potential across a variety of verticals, especially within the media and entertainment industry. Now, Curio aims to be the leading NFT platform for these mainstream brands to be able to monetize their IP. And we do this via our end-to-end platform, which encapsulates the entire minting, trading, and integration process with a number of ecosystem players across the Ethereum landscape. Now, we're well positioned to drive forward the mainstream adoption of NFTs. We focus on an easy-to-use onboarding process that places an emphasis on fiat onboarding, walletless mechanisms, and we also provide a curated marketplace of premium content with large mainstream brands. We're able to accomplish this via the deep networks we have within the media and entertainment industry. Digital collectibles themselves have seen tremendous growth over the last couple of years. They're already estimated to be roughly $370 billion in size, and their growth this year alone has been through the roof as we've seen NFTs explode worldwide. How we capture value throughout the life cycle of the NFT is pretty straightforward. Initially, we do have a setup process and a fee structure as we work hand in hand with the mainstream brands to provide a white glove service. After that, we have a revenue share off of initial product sales, and finally, a transaction fee off all secondary market activity. Now, to date, we've achieved strong traction with a number of mainstream brands. Our first brand partner was the hit show American Gods. We worked directly with the owners of the TV show, and that's a company called Fremantle Productions. Fremantle was so delighted with our work that we are expanding the NFT collection across multiple seasons of American Gods, as well as creating NFT collections for a number of their other properties. Some of the other properties they own include American Idol and the Global Idol franchise. We're also working with several graphic novel companies, including Concrete Park and Heavy Metal, and we have contracts in place with Topps and Universal Music Group. Our sales pipeline is largely focused on big players within the movie and music verticals. We are in discussions with MGM on their James Bond 007 franchise, as well as several notable acts in the musical world, including Metallica, Paul McCartney, and the Grateful Dead. Now, for us, the digital collectible is simply the starting point for where the NFT journey can take us to. So the digital collectible initially is just a digital representation of a physical analog item. And that for us, as I mentioned, is the starting point. From there, we see it evolving to unlocking new opportunities, new experiences for the NFT holders. So effectively serving as a passport for the NFT holder to gain access to unique content, unique experiences, online events, etc. From there, we move to phase 3, where we see the NFT as a unique distribution channel that allows for a direct relationship between the content owner and the content consumers themselves. Is loaded with deep industry networks, connections within the networks, and I'll touch a little bit on Rick and Ben's backgrounds. They each individually have over 20 years of experience within the media and entertainment industry, working at such notable firms such as William Morris Agency, ABC, Universal Studios, and Disney. My background is largely tech and fintech oriented. My last company was Open Finance. We were the first security token trading platform in the US, and we drove forward the adoption of blockchain technology within the securities industry. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to you joining us on our journey to digitize the future of fandom.
Go. Thanks, Juan. That's super exciting. Now, the power of NFTs is not limited to large brands. It also extends to small and medium creators as well. For that, let's hear about Flame.
Hi guys, this is Kim from Flame. Here, I'm going to introduce our project Flame for you, which is a decentralized NFT meeting platform that empowers creators at Web3. While Kevin Kelly's Flame 1,000 True Fans has envisioned that the internet to be the powerhouse for creators and their fans to get connected, while the reality is that at Web2, the mainstream centralized platforms have dominated the creators market by inserting ads and algorithm recommendations while keeping the most profits by themselves. So if we look at the creators economy now, the life for creators are very hard. For one, monetization is still very hard, meaning that it takes great time and efforts for the creators to get their money back. And for two, you could even lose your work, meaning that your work could get removed or modified without you being notified. So that's when we think that it's really the time for the creators to take back more control. Hence, we introduced Flame, which is a decentralized NFT meeting platform that revolutionizes creations at Web3. So you can think of Flame like a decentralized Patreon, but with ownership. So at Flame, you can convert and mint your NFT with just one click, and all of your work will be safely stored in decentralized storage. And then you can trade your work in Flame's marketplace. So let's take a journey. Imagine you are a creator at Flame. First, you will import your metadata into Flame. So it could be your arts, podcasts, writings if you like, and your work will then be stored in either IPFS or Filecoin. Since we're going to make it super easy for use, the users won't have to choose who are the miners to store with. Your work will be automatically stored with the selected reputable miners that we couple with. Here at Flame, you can also decide whether to trade your NFT directly or put it in crowdfunding or sponsoring mode. We will prepare all the essential tools for you to launch it. So let's have a look at the market landscape. We are targeting creators that has already got a moderate fan base and are looking forward to move into NFT. If we look at the current influencer market, as of now, that's more than $8 billion USD and expected to grow to almost double by 2022. And 45% of them are our targeted group, who has 5K to 100K users. Our business model is simple. It will be divided into mainly two revenue streams. So for one, that is the storage fees that we charge for creators, and two, that is the service fee, where we charge a 3% fee as service fee for all the transactions happening in our platform. We don't charge for any upfront costs at this moment. We will launch Flame in September this year, and introduce the Flame token later this year. We do realize, though, that the current gas fees are exceptionally high in Ethereum, and we will explore layer 2 solutions and add DeFi and social functionalities by next year. By November 2022, we are expected to onboard at least 3,000 creators. This is our core team. I'm mainly responsible for strategy and marketing, and our colleagues, Savage and Felix, they all have got fruitful blockchain protocol and product experience. Currently, we've already launched 3 very successful projects in the market. So for one is Keystore, which is a crypto custodian service for institutional users, and Kipu, which is a PB level Filecoin miner, and also Fusebox, which is a storage app. And they are all very well integrated with the Filecoin ecosystem already. So here we are at Flame. Join us, and let's help creators to get the recognition they deserve. Thank you.
Thanks, Kimmy. While storing the content from NFT securely is critical, what about verifying the authenticity of the media in the first place? For that, let's hear from numbers.
Hello to everyone in attendance. Thank you for your time. We are Numbers, a Taipei startup with a vision of creating an authentic media network. As it stands today, the photo digital creation industry is antiquated and due for a big change. Photos are extremely easy to share because of the internet and its many media platforms. They are virtually untraceable and extremely easy to use without license. A crazy 2.5 million unlicensed images are stolen every day. This amounts to 600 billion in damages daily. Photos today are untraceable and unverifiable. Because ownership is lost, creators lose out on many monetization opportunities. The photo industry problem hits all of us. After all, many, if not all of us, have smartphones equipped with powerful cameras. Those who want to monetize on their creations need to rely on centralized platforms just to establish basic rights at the cost of their intellectual property. For the more casual photo taker, like you and me, whether we know it or not, have our assets used without permission constantly. In more extreme situations, they are used maliciously to spread misinformation and deceit. The photo industry, as it stands today, doesn't work for us at all, and that's just wrong. Today, regular photos are just raw images, empty, with no information. With the Capture app, photos, which we coin as captures, become information containers. Multi-layered and traceable, captures contain ownership and context as well as sealed blockchain records. To keep data decentralized, the assets are stored to Filecoin to ensure accessibility. Most critically, the information sticks with the photo, making it traceable even as it is shared and downloaded over the internet. With Capture app, ownership and context are established the moment a photo is taken. The information is sealed on the blockchain. In just a few seconds, your photos are protected and ready to monetize. You won't need to go far because that protected photo can be sold directly within Capture app in your own personally managed asset store. Our ultimate goal is to create an authentic media network where everyone can create secure and authentic digital assets. To that end, we have created a suite of services, Capture app just being one of them. Other publicly available services include our API, which gives access to our Capture Seal Trace protocol, our Verify dashboard, and our Capture Store marketplace. Life record, IP preservation, and news media are some notable use cases for Numbers products. News media industry already sees the value of our protocol as it was recently featured in an interesting news media use case called 78 Days, a photojournalistic record that details America's 78-day presidential transition from Donald Trump to Joe Biden. The digital creation market is huge. The serviceable obtainable market is 390 million. We will capitalize on this by representing the segment of the market that has high authenticity, high assetization. Numbers will act as the all-in-one digital asset solution for creating, establishing rights, and monetizing, all while keeping control of your IP. Our revenue model is a mix of freemium and consumption-based offerings. Capture app will be our freemium offering, aiming for mass adoption. Our service API will be our consumption-based offering, charging per API call about $0.1 to $3. We'll also be collecting issuance and transaction fees for assets listed and sold on the Capture Store marketplace. The most exciting thing about all this is the authentic media renaissance that we are carving out with Capture app. It's working. In just under 3 months, we have over 2,500 organic downloads across 90 plus countries and over 5,300 photos taken and secured. We see this as just the beginning. Our roadmap encompasses further product development with Capture, most notably the release of Capture Store and NFT support this coming April. By the end of 2021 Q4, we'll be looking to acquire 1 million global users and activate our community by the end of Q1 of next year. The core team at Numbers consists of myself, Ethan Wu, as well as our company founders, Guofu Chen, Tammy Yan, and Sophia Yan. We have a strong, efficient, technical team that is more than capable of bringing this needed product to the global market. If interested in Numbers and the authentic media network we're creating, please reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Ethan. Now, with all of this support in place, you may still wonder, oh, this is still pretty new, right? What if the tech or some of these platforms somehow go down? How can you protect yourself? Going quite in-depth into this topic, let's hear from Atomica.
Hello, everyone. Let me introduce Atomica, a cross-chain risk liquidity protocol designed to accelerate organic growth of Web3 economies. I'm on a mission to link 1 billion risk pools. And I'm not alone. Atomica DAO team, we see a world where most humans became sovereign individuals. Their incomes, savings, physical and virtual property are all atomic units of many metaverse economies. But how do we get there? Well, Airbnb removed the #1 blocker to organic growth thanks to the magic of risk transfer, which was introduced by Mark Andreessen. Most prospective Airbnb hosts refused to join because they were afraid that their homes, just like the home of EG host in San Francisco, will be trashed by random guests. Sounds familiar? So that 50,000 guarantee unlocked the growth of 10-person startup, leading to reinvention of hospitality industry. That's the magic of insurance and risk transfer. So, just as Mark Andreessen, Atomica works with protocols such as Filecoin and DeFi DAOs to remove blockers preventing organic growth, blockers such as fears. In order to make it inevitable, we need safety nets to be cheap and affordable. How do we do that? Well, that's quite simply by maximizing the amount of uncorrelated risk. Atomica will make the cost of protection cheap and yields for liquidity providers high. Our first stop is demand side of DeFi-centric economies. DeFi is drastically underinsured. It's estimated that only 0.2% of DeFi GDP is protected. Compare that to developed economies around the world where insurance premiums account somewhere from 7 to 19% of GDP. DeFi insurance today faces 3 key challenges. Number 1, it's super expensive. It's not available. And more often than not, it's sold out to a waiting list of institutional buyers. Why is that? Only 2 tokens back risk pools. Well, humans then decide whom to list and how much to pay for cover. And then user experience is awful. It's not integrated with interfaces where users make DeFi deposits. You must insure for long periods of time and pay upfront as an end user. Capital pools often require conversion to project tokens, and capital inefficient reserve models really push prices high and yields low. Well, investors who specialize in DeFi risk, they agree. And what if such solution would exist today? Well, enter Atomica DAO. Imagine how a cross-chain balancer for insurance may look like. Let me show you what kind of difference it makes. Instead of ETH and DAI as risk collateral, you can go to Atomica and stake any ERC20 token to earn yield. Instead of humans pricing premiums, market forces of supply-demand set premium pricing. Instead of waiting for months for new insurance products, you can launch a new product in under an hour or list your protocol in 15 minutes or less. As a cover buyer, you can pay as you go. And as a liquidity provider, you can earn yield on a short-term rolling basis. Now, as a liquidity provider, why would you be constrained to a single choice of leverage and yield at the platform level where Atomica enables LPs to pick a pool with leverage of their choice? As a liquidity provider, instead of taking all risk or no risk at all, you can now deploy capital and pick your own yield depending on your own risk appetite. And as a protocol, you can now bootstrap demand side of your network by providing cheap and or even free coverage for some or all of your users. Atomica enables capital participation in risk markets for the first time, available from anywhere and even off-chain. This really opens up participation of protocol treasuries and institutional LPs in DeFi risk markets. To summarize, combined together, Atomica solves most pressing problems of DeFi insurance today. Would you like to see that? Here's how it looks like. We're live already on Ringbird testnet and we're waiting on audits. It's the result of 2 years of research and development. And on this page, you can see how you can buy policies. On this page, you can provide liquidity to any pool in any risk market. And here you can launch your own insurance market. For example, you visit Atomica and insurance is not available for a brand new farm on Binance or your favorite project on Polkadot. Here we go. Would love to see you. As you can see, all the complexity of structured finance and the magic of risk transfer is removed from the user interface. For example, for Filecoin, we're preparing 2 markets. 100 million SLA guarantee, that's our target, which will protect Filecoin customers from all major fears and risks, such as network failure, files lost, not available, miner X, program participant failed, extreme slashing, all of that will be covered, and we're looking for your participation there. Insured Filecoin mining pools, our second app, allows anyone to participate in Filecoin mining block rewards while being insured against fraud of data center operators. Now, please meet Atomica token. Staking Atomica provides a layer of security against losses caused by Atomica contracts and protects all users of the protocol. In exchange for the risks associated with taking Atomica token, liquidity providers unlock pro-risk pools and features. Policy buyers get discounts on premiums, and distribution partners earn a percentage of premiums. We invite you to participate in the incentivized testnet and mainnet genesis of Atomica DAO. Our team, prior to Atomica, we launched and grew startups from 0 to 400 team members in 7 countries. We invested in parametric insurance startups, built POCs for insurance giants, served DeFi DAOs as interim risk teams, and launched first Ethereum-based parametric fly delay insurance with EtherRisk. Thank you for your time. And those of you who want to join our mission to link 1 billion risk pools, please get in touch. Thank you.
Thanks, Renat. A lot to absorb there. Now let's switch to something more fun. Games, with a twist of creating communities and sharing ownership. Please welcome OP Games.
Hi, my name is Chase Frio. I'm the CEO and co-founder of OP Games, where we facilitate mini-game tournaments made easy. Our mission at OP Games is to give game developers the ability to create competitive and rewards-driven games by turning their single-player game of skills into a multiplayer tournament. Our primary focus at the moment is the casual and the hyper-casual game space, which comprises about 60% of most games on mobile and even more on web. These are easy-to-play games, easy to develop, but unfortunately, very hard to monetize. The picture you see on the left is a game called Flappy Bird. It went viral about 6 years ago, raking in millions of players worldwide and making thousands of dollars in advertising revenue. Unfortunately, this is not the reality for most game developers who are plagued with two main problems. Number one is retention, and number two is monetization. Retention because these types of games are low in content value. Therefore, it's hard to keep players in the game for more than 7 days. Monetization because these games heavily rely on a lot of players watching video ads to make money. And with players' retention as an issue, we can see why this could be a problem. So we thought of the OP Game solution, an SDK for game developers with multiple monetization plugins to explore, and a platform for players to discover games, play tournaments, and even buy NFTs. So why is OP Games relevant now? The gaming industry is now north of $150 billion and growing, with $3 billion of that in the hyper-casual game space. At 1.5 billion casual and hyper-casual games player, we are now in the precipice of an even more growth in the years to come. At OP Games, we take a modular approach on how we work with game developers. For Web2 monetization, we've kept the most familiar, advertising. But our goal is to move them further into Web3, starting with competitive tournaments with crypto buy-in and payout. Developers who want to take a step further can also explore the OP NFTs, allowing them to turn their entire game into an NFT, which they can fractionalize, turning the community into owners of the game. One of the earliest games we've worked on is a Minesweeper game called World of Mines. After tournaments were implemented, it has seen a 5 times increase in its day 14 retention, which is great for these types of games. At the moment, we've signed 42 game developers and have about 50 plus early SDK users and counting. We have already integrated 6 games into the platform and has recently released this in the Near Protocol testnet. This will provide valuable insights to the product and in our quest to improve our monetization touchpoints. So how do we make money? We do this 3 ways. With tournaments, NFTs, and advertising, we clip a certain percentage of that value they make. Our product roadmap starts with a completed HTML5 SDK with tournament support. Right now, the SDK documentation is being worked on, but otherwise, it should be available open source for developers already. We've also recently released OP Arcade, our gaming platform, in the Near Protocol testnet. These are games, there are a few games in place, and players can now play some tournaments and some games in the platform. Our current focus is the IPFS Filecoin game SDK for replay, storage, and NFT support, which will be available this coming June. And at the end of the year, we will be releasing our Unity SDK and a fully realized product suite across the board. Our go-to-market strategy is pretty straightforward. We believe that cultivating our development community through direct outreach, hackathons, and game jams are essential to the success of the SDK and the platform, while continuously bringing in players through a mixture of organic and performance marketing. We are also maintaining a robust community of developers and players that are highly motivated and incentivized through our future rewards mechanism. Now on to our revenue outlook. With 100 games by the end of the year, we are looking at a potential revenue of $3 million. By the end of next year, we're looking to increase that by $7 million. And by the end of 2023, we'll grow our number of games to more than 500 potentially, bringing us north of $12 million. Our team is a nimble team of 7 at the moment. My co-founders, Gabby and Paul, are great entrepreneurs and have been making games since the early 2000s and has shipped more than 50 games. As for myself, I have been in the games publishing business for 10 years and has helped more than 20 developers successfully bring their games to market globally. The last thing I want to say is that we've been very fortunate to not only experience the problems firsthand, but to now have the opportunity to do something about it. And we'd love to work with you on this mission. Thank you, and you have a good day.
Thanks, Chase. Aside from gaming, another area that has also taken off in this pandemic is, of course, video calls. While Zoom works well, maybe we can do better. Presenting Huddle.
Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Ayush and we are building Huddle 01. Huddle 01 is revolutionizing video conferences for remote learning using blockchain and Web3 technology. So low bandwidth and high latency, followed by lack of integrated products for education, has led to bad learning experience. As you can see on the right side of the screen, a person is scratching his head because he has to use Zoom in tandem with WhatsApp and other products. Moreover, more than 350 million people just in Asia face the issue of low bandwidth and hence are not able to do remote learning properly. Hence, I would comment that centralized internet infrastructure is not prepared for e-learning. There is a low streaming quality and high latency because of centralized servers. It's inadequate solution for e-learning space. The pricings of centralized solutions are really high and there's a privacy and control issues. Presenting Huddle 01. Using decentralization, Huddle 01 aspires to democratize access to e-learning. Thanks to Huddle 01's protocol, we have high streaming quality and low latency. We are built specifically for the e-learning space. And thanks to the Filecoin network, we have economical storage options. We are secured and host controlled. On the left side of the screen now, you can see our protocol. The green dots represents geographically distributed nodes, which will work in tandem with the Filecoin protocol. And we are aiming to reach a latency of less than 100 milliseconds so that it becomes an actual real-time communication. The protocol layer doesn't stop here. Not only it can power Huddle 01's remote learning meetings, but also VR, XR, healthcare, virtual live events, and many, many more. So in the current scenario, before pandemic or in the offline world, there used to be attendance trackers, dropping of assignments, taking tests, one-on-one discussions, and group presentations. Now, these things cannot be done currently in the virtual event space. That's what Huddle 01 saw and wants to solve. Let's go deeper into it. Let's see what's happening. Verticalization of Zoom is happening. If you want to have shared experience and want to build community, you go on Discord. For team collaborations, you use Flock, and even Slack has its own video conferencing solution. For gatherings, you use AirMeet, Hopin, Remo. But what about education? What about if a teacher needs to nudge another student? Or if a teacher needs to collaborate with a student in an effective manner, or drop down an assignment really quickly, or take a test, surprise test real quick? There's nothing out there, and that's what Huddle 01 wants to solve. We do have competition, but thanks to lower latency, e-learning features, and low storage costings, we score a couple of brownie points here. The market of remote learning is huge. And capturing 1% of that addressable market takes us to a sum of $400 million. Our go-to market is also fairly direct. We are creating a sales pipeline using LinkedIn Sales Navigator, reaching out to e-learning communities on Slack and Discord, which is more than 75,000 people. We are adding Huddle 01 app to Slack Workspace so that people can just do /huddle and can join the meeting right from Slack. We are also launching a product hunt real soon. We are starting off with Asian market because in Asia, remote learning is growing at a staggering pace of 16.5% year over year. Our business model is also fairly direct. We have licenses and SDK pricing, where licenses and SDKs both are having a super high and very competitive pricing as compared to the centralized options which are there. The best part is we are live. We are projecting a $4,000 of monthly recurring revenue with clients which we have currently. This has been our roadmap. We started off in ETH Global Hackathon, went into Filecoin Accelerator, where top 100 Binance built for Bharat startup. And now we have logged in 5 EdTech clients and are launching SDKs. We're also projecting a MRR of $10,000, testing of Huddle nodes, and the fourth quarter deploying all these Huddle nodes across Asia and doing in $50,000 of MRR. My name is Ayush. I'm the CEO. I was growth lead at multiple B2C space, high space startups. Talking about my co-founder and CTO, Sushmit, he co-founded India's first decentralized exchange, OC2, led the blockchain team at CoinDCX, and did computer science from LNMIT. We have known each other for 6 years and believe we are the right team to take it forward. We are backed by a couple of brilliant minds in Web3 space, and we are very fortunate and thankful for that. Thank you very much. I want to call out to all the people, investors who are watching this. If you believe in our vision, please reach me at ayush@huddle01.com, and please try beta.huddle01.com. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thanks, Ayush. Now, speaking of education, there is room to also rethink the model of educational content itself. Let's find out about Candlekeep by Non-Entropy.
Hello, and thank you for your attention. Candlekeep is an online education platform powered by Filecoin and the Web3 technology that incentivizes content creation and learner usage. Today, we are going to show you its value and how it works. Online education platform face 4 key pain points. First, centralized storage leads to a high cost of content storage and delivery, which limits the quality of service. Second, they are weak in data privacy and security. Third, they don't have incentive for tutors to develop high quality contents. Finally, they don't have good ownership management and content exchange. All these pain points lead to a poor experience for platform users. Candlekeep solves these pain points using distributed storage, tokenomic and NFT. Candlekeep is built on Filecoin distributed storage, which enables secure and low-cost storage of education material. We also use tokenomic to encourage high-quality content creation and encourage student evaluations. Finally, we use an NFT solution to establish content ownership and enable exchange. All of these will improve the user experience, and the Filecoin distributed storage technology will provide security to the content. We plan to target the C2C tutor market in China. The market for tutoring in China is huge, with 480 million users. Of these, 315 million users access tutoring through digital channels. Of these, about 100,000 users get tutoring through a C2C model. Tutor serving this segment work independently, produce high quality content, and find it hard to protect their IP. We have developed a go-to-market strategy to bring tutor on board. First, we will collaborate with leading university in China and onboard some of their professors to build our reputation. Second, we will attract users by building our community and presence through known platforms such as Zhihu and Quora. Lastly, we will educate tutors on the value and the usage of NFT to protect their IP. We have achieved strong tractions. In the first 6 months of operations, we have partnered with the business school of RUC. We also have onboarded 2 tutors, and we have over 300 students active on our platform. We will generate revenue in the 3 different ways. First, we will charge a service fee for each paid lesson on the platform. Second, we will monetize ads on the platform. Third, we will receive an NFT service fee anytime someone casts or exchanges an NFT on Candlekeep. This is our roadmap for the next 6 months. Over this period, we plan to progressively onboard users and reach 13,000 users by September. We will also continue our product development, including Filecoin storage automation in May and releasing NFT feature in August. We have a strong team with knowledge on IPFS and a strong entrepreneurial experience. Ziyu, our CEO, has extensive experience in blockchain product design and was a VP at a listed tech company. I'm Mitra, the CIO, and I was the first one to translate IPFS command line, the 5-point power consensus, into Mandarin. And I have given lecture on IPFS. Junyao, our chief science officer, also has extensive knowledge of IPFS. We hope Candlekeeper will bring a new revolution in online learning. Thank you.
Thanks, Mitchell. I'm hearing the idea, which is enabling ownership, and that's becoming a recurring theme here of Web3. In fact, this could apply to so many things, including your health data. Please welcome Sinso Tech.
Hi, this is Marco. Today I'm going to introduce Sinso Technologies project to you all. You may wonder what's going on in the scene of this picture. Actually, this is a typical scene of hospitals in rural area in China. The patients cannot reach medical professionals easily and don't have their own medical data rights and assets. Sinso aspires to democratize access to critical medical services in China by providing patients with timely, private, and convenient access to medical professionals. The current problem for the patient is, it is very hard to access to a better medical services in China. It could be done in a difficult, costly way, and always lead to untreated diseases and badly for their life quality. After patients solve the puzzles like this, the result will be only 3 minutes of diagnosis with the doctor face-to-face. With SinsoDAP, it allows a quick and easy access to the medical professionals and only take a few steps. Step 1, make an appointment with professional doctor on SinsoDAP. Step 2, do the online diagnosis around 10 minutes and get a clear result instantly. Step 3, provide the clear treatment solution. Here you can see SinsoDAP's beta version screenshots. SinsoDAP is a medical app fully based on Filecoin, and the features in blue will function in this month. It is also a trade platform for medical data NFT, trading of patients and medical entities. Here, we're going to reemphasize the value points of SinsoDAP project. Point number 1, it is mobile DAP allows for easy consultation and matching of patients with doctors. Point number 2, it is Filecoin Web3 distributed storage network technology to enable data privacy and security. Point number 3, the patient's medical images and the doctor's medical images will be transformed into NFT. And the NFT will profoundly change doctor-patient relationship. Our target market aims at 700 million Chinese people who are seeking professional medical consultation in the undeveloped areas in China. About the business model, there are 2 parts. Part number 1 is, we're going to charge patients 1,000 yuan for an online consultation session, and the 50% will be Sinso's commission, and the doctor will take the rest of 50%. Part number 2 is the most important part, which is transforming massive amount of patients' medical image data into an NFT assets. And doctors can also convert their treatment or therapy methods into NFTs. Then, a medical data transaction market will be built on SinsoDAP. So, the more transactions happening between patients and medical entities on this market platform, the more commission fees SinsoDAP can make. We've launched our project in the last November, and the beta version will be launched in the end of April 2021. Before June, we will achieve these numbers by existing community of 300 hospitals, and we will develop 5,000 new users and 100 hospitals via marketing and communication till the end of 2021. Our team has very professional veterans on board. Mr. Zhang, CEO of Sinso, has more than 15 years of experience in the medical IT. Mr. Xiaoliang Yong, CTO of Sinso, has more than 5 years of the industry experience. Mr. Xiao Yugan Lu, CSO of Sinso, is the product mentor of Silicon Valley Founders Institute. Mr. Li has more than 15 years of experience in IT, software, internet industries. That's it for the SinsoDAP presentation. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Marco. Let's now open up this ownership model. In fact, it can apply to data from any behavior that we are constantly generating online. Tackling this is Ownership Labs.
Hello, everyone. This is Jessie from Ownership Labs, and we are building an open data marketplace for personalized service delivery. Almost every day, you open your mobile applications like Twitter or Amazon for getting convenient services. You cannot control how your data is shared and sold, while such service matching platforms make huge profits from it and determine what you can see. To solve this problem and give back the data ownership, we provide asset templates for data owners to define how their data can be computed. Instead of giving away your data, you can maintain control of your data and have the choice to monetize it if you wish. The D-apps can aggregate authorized data sets and then register the data unions on our ownership smart contract. On the other hand, the data buyers can directly buy the aggregated data for computation. Our MVP was done in October 2020. As you can see here, the data owners could sell the data computing rights in the marketplace, and the data buyers could run data analysis through our scientist portal. Now, our alpha version is live, and we already open sourced our APIs. Data aggregators like D-apps can publish data unions, and data buyers can search the life cycle of data through the data transfer. Our long-term vision is to build a decentralized service delivery layer. We use IPFS and Filecoin to store the computing metadata, like the user's preferences and the creator's service features. For example, the creators can pay for the audience hunting, and the users can still maintain control of their preferences at the same time. To scale, we create SDKs which can be easily plugged into any third-party applications. The apps can integrate our SDK to outsource their service matching tasks to the global data scientist. In terms of the computation, we mainly face the competition from the centralized protocol like Kaigo and the decentralized protocols like Ocean Protocol or Numero.ai. In a nutshell, ownership is more advanced in terms of the three key features. Users can use the asset templates to define their data. D-apps can create data unions to aggregate the authorized data sets, and data scientists could run aggregated computation. Flexible APIs are open and available to dev developers and data scientists. As for the short-term plan, we're building a Chrome extension called DataDD as an early use case of our service matching marketplace. The users can manage their preferences and giving their attention to the correlated and interested content about D-apps while accumulating crypto rewards. It can help the D-apps to reach more matchable audience. So now let me introduce our team. We are a highly technical team as we won many blockchain hackathons before. The founder Qibing is the champion of the 2020 Wanxiang Hackathon, and we received the grants from LatticeX Foundation for building our product. So as for the milestone, we have already reached the Q1 milestone. In Q2, we will focus on the development of the Chrome extension, the DataDD, and the token design. So finally, I want to say that our vision and mission is to make it possible for the users to control their preferences of the data and rebuild the service matching schema in the Web3 economy. Thank you.
Thanks, Jessie. Now that we are thinking in more futuristic terms, we can envision owning our own data and perhaps contributing to peer-to-peer sharing too. Presenting Mael.
Hey guys, I'm Alex Camuto with Mile. At Mile, we're building a community-powered content delivery network. At the moment, we're a team of 3. We've known each other since high school for over a decade now, and we've been collaborating on tech projects for a really long time. So Thomas and I got interested in Web3 technology when he was working at IDEO Colab, and we started exploring Ethereum and IPFS in their early days. He went on to work at a Y Combinator funded company as the lead engineer. On my end, I completed a PhD in machine learning at the University of Oxford. And Sandra, on her end, has founded her own companies in France and previously was working as a product lead in a leading health tech company in Paris. And the problem we've observed is that there's an urgent need to complement decentralized storage with decentralized data delivery. So the benefits of moving to a decentralized setting for storage are really significant. You can get cheaper storage, resilience against business failures without having centralized points of failure, and you can get independence from the personal data-driven business models that exist today. And built on this promise, decentralized storage networks like Filecoin have reached unprecedented storage capacity. But accessing data from these networks is really slow, and these networks are currently not suited for storing and quickly accessing data. And so to that end, Mile provides a hot storage layer on top of decentralized storage protocols, which allows users to quickly access cached content. And at its core, Mile is a decentralized CDN, which incentivizes peers to serve content directly to other peers. So the network can perform data transfers without needing the parties to trust each other. And on top of that, it allocates content optimally throughout the network to really accelerate content delivery. And as a user, you get all the benefits of decentralized storage, the privacy, the cost efficiency, the cheaply scalable infrastructure, coupled with really fast data delivery that Mile provides. And so to quickly run you through how Mile works, an application pushes content to the network. Our algorithm then propagates content throughout our network of peers to ensure that content delivery is maximally optimal. And every time a peer delivers content to another peer, they get paid. And at the moment, becoming a peer on the Mile network is really simple. All you need to do is download the Mile app or the Mile command line interface, both of which have really clean and simple interfaces. As soon as you log in, you become a peer. Part of your hard drive is allocated to content delivery, and you get paid for your service. You can see the content that you're serving at a glance, the peers you're connected to on the network. But perhaps most importantly, you can use the application to deploy content to the network in a really simple fashion. And it is quite literally as simple as dragging and dropping a file to deploy it to our CDN. And at the moment, the Web3 applications market is growing rapidly, and this growth is about to accelerate. It's expected to reach 1 billion cumulative users by 2025. And all of these applications, all in the spirit of decentralization, need a decentralized hot storage layer. And our aim really is to grow alongside this increase in demand and capture a part of this market. And to bootstrap our revenue, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking commissions from each of these applications when they transfer data. So our core differentiator in this space is that we're really combining the control, the ease of use, the ability to serve all kinds of data, the flexibility really of centralized CDNs with decentralized and really cheaply scalable infrastructure. And at the moment, we're the only team delivering this for the Filecoin ecosystem. And this is part of the reason that Web3 developers working on applications ranging from audio to video streaming apps and Filecoin miners are knocking at our door to use our CDN. And it's really because we provide a missing piece in the Web3 stack. The problem at the moment is that there's no one powering content delivery at scale in a decentralized fashion. So if you're building a Web3 application, something like Fleek makes deployment of the application really easy. You can use Ceramic to manage your mutable content, things like user identity. You can then use our network for optimal content delivery to your users. And really, our network serves as a hot storage layer on top of Filecoin, which you would use for cold storage and backing up your data. So to meet this demand for our network, we need to do two things simultaneously. We need to bootstrap our network of peers, and we need to make it really easy for developers to deploy content onto Mile. And to kind of accelerate the growth of our network, we're building our technology on strong protocols with thriving communities like IPFS and Filecoin. This includes the command line interface and the desktop application showcased previously. But we're also working with Web3 infrastructure clients like Fleet to onboard their users onto our network as peers. And so to deliver on all of this, the command line interface has already been released onto mainnet. At the moment, we're really testing content routing and fine-tuning the Mile network to optimize for performance. We're going to be releasing a really simple desktop and web apps for less technical users. And we're aiming to integrate into browsers that support IPFS like Brave to really drive exponential network growth by early next year. So you guys have heard what Mile is all about. Join the Mile network and become a part of the future of content delivery. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, Alex. Now, for our final pitch of the day, let's open up our imagination even further. In the virtual world, how do we know something is real? In fact, how do we define you? Presenting Vera AI.
Hi everyone, we're Vera AI. We're building private decentralized identity and dApps reimagined for Web3, VR, AR, and the metaverse. Identity is a hard challenge, so we built a capable team around this. The Vera AI team comes from Silicon Valley, with backgrounds in leading tech companies and VCs. My colleagues and I have worked at companies including Google, Facebook, Hashkey Capital, and Coinbase. We're honored to have the co-founder of LinkedIn, Eric Lee, advising us. The team has broad experience in Web 2.0, blockchain, gaming, and social networks. Identity is a $1 trillion market. It's a key pillar for Web 2.0. We've seen successful platforms like Facebook and LinkedIn. And after personally working at Facebook and LinkedIn as a product manager, I realized there's a huge opportunity for decentralized identity, VR, AR, and the metaverse. The current pain points are clear. For example, users don't fully own their identity, the centralized databases are vulnerable to attacks. Also, big tech invades our privacy and monetize our identity. When it comes to the metaverse and VR, AR, a consistent user-owned identity layer is lacking, and we are here to change that. Vera AI is building a DID layer and dApps for Web3 and the metaverse. We anchor real-world identities for trust, build with high scalability, protect privacy with ZKP, and enable true ownership of identity and NFT. The technical innovation for Vera AI is Layer 2 for scalability. So far, the Layer 2 concept has mainly been used for financial transactions, like decentralized exchange. But we realized that Layer 2 is also the perfect playground for identity processing, social networks, and NFTs. Because a lot of the computation about identity are deterministic, we can process them on Layer 2. We use the Sidetree protocol initially developed by Microsoft, an overlay network of nodes that interact with the underlying Layer 1. This allows us to build with high scalability. Traction is key. We're not only building the DID protocol, but also building our own dApps. There are a lot of use cases for DIDs, and we chose the two most promising ones to build. One is CyberVR, a MMOSG, massive multiplayer online social game for the 3D metaverse. The other is Linker, an advanced professional network with trusted DIDs. In addition, we open up the protocol ecosystem for new developers to join. Introducing CyberVR, a MMOSG with virtual identities and avatars in the 3D metaverse, similar to Ready Player One. It's an exciting infinite virtual platform with social, gaming, and NFT elements. Users can fully experience the power of social and crypto combined with the metaverse. In a virtual world, it's even harder to verify identity and asset ownership like NFT. For example, when you have a private group meeting in the metaverse, you need to verify that other people are real, and that's when the DID service comes into play. In CyberVR, each avatar is also a created NFT that you can use interoperably. We're building our own VR avatar product for the metaverse identity, which is compatible with other services. For example, Jake here can deploy his virtual avatar identity in different virtual universes. A consistent identity in various virtual worlds enables improved user experience and monetization. Another DApp we're building is Linker, an advanced version for LinkedIn. We match you with the best professional with AI. The number one pain point for LinkedIn is fake profiles. Over 50% of LinkedIn profiles are found to contain false information. The Linker, everyone passes identity checks so we can build a high-quality social graph. For example, when an investor joins the platform, their background needs to be verified, and Linker uses AI to match them with the best entrepreneur in the fields they're interested in. The match quality is much higher. We have clear plans for monetization, and here's our projection. CyberVR will host marketplace and NFT pack sales, similar to NBA Top Shop, plus in-app advertisements. Linker will be subscription-based, and the API DID service will be pay-per-use. We currently have 1,500 users. On go-to-market, we have clear plans for partnerships such as social ads, professional groups, AR/VR companies to enrich our ecosystem. We're currently raising the seed round, and we're excited to work with leading partners like Filecoin and LongHash to achieve our vision. We're Vera AI, very excited about the journey ahead. Please join us in building the trust economy and the metaverse, with one trusted identity at a time. Thanks.
Thanks, Henry. With that, we have heard from all the teams from Filecoin Frontier Accelerator. The common thread among all the teams here today is that everyone is part of the Filecoin ecosystem. So to wrap up, let's zoom out again to understand the explosive growth of Filecoin. Let's hear from Colin.
My name is Colin, but as many of you know, my friends call me Proto Colin, and I'm the ecosystem lead for the Filecoin project. I am so incredibly honored and excited to be participating in today's Filecoin Frontier Demo Day. We've been tracking the teams who are presenting today for months now, and I couldn't be more impressed by the creativity, the hard work, the resilience, and the growth mindset that they all have. You are incredible entrepreneurs. And today marks a critical transition moment where you not only get to showcase your products to the world, but you are now becoming leaders in the Filecoin ecosystem. Developers, entrepreneurs, community members, they will start to look up to you as important stakeholders and mentors in the ecosystem. And that is an honor that you should cherish. I've been an entrepreneur many times, and this phase of the company is very, very fun. I can definitely assure you that all the mentors in the room, your peers, and myself are here to support you in the next phase of this journey. So never feel like you are alone. Reach out for support anytime. Today, I thought I'd touch on how to think about the Filecoin ecosystem's growth as a whole, and then leave you with a few parting thoughts as you embark on this next phase of this journey. Great. So I'll touch on why the Filecoin project exists first. Filecoin project's mission is to create a decentralized, efficient, and robust foundation for humanity's information. We truly believe humanity's most valuable resource is information, and we are incredibly passionate about storing and protecting that valuable resource in an efficiently priced and distributed way. Now, this really means addressing some of the fundamental problems with today's storage infrastructure, decentralizing the cloud away from a small number of centralized providers, giving users full control over their data, turning data storage pricing into an efficient market where the network can set prices rather than a corporate pricing department, making storage verifiable to ensure that when someone says they're storing your data, they actually are. And lastly, optimizing the world storage and putting the zettabytes of latent storage capacity to use. Now, it's important to note that Filecoin is definitely not just software. Filecoin is a rapidly growing ecosystem of thousands of talented people working towards a common goal. And that's a really important thing to think about. This is very much not just about software or any individual stakeholder. It's the combination of the ecosystem momentum that is like a high-speed train that cannot be stopped. Every day, more talented developers, entrepreneurs, partners, community members join the ecosystem, and it's the strength and growth of that ecosystem that makes Filecoin incredibly unique. Now, there are different ways to think about the overall approach to growing the Filecoin ecosystem, but I'll try and present one particular framework that I think the community is striving towards. At the top here, we have ecosystem multipliers. So these are major organizations that can showcase new use cases for the network, that can bridge Filecoin to other Web3 ecosystems like Ethereum and others, or can bridge to Web2 users and start to transition Web2 use cases to Web3. In the middle here is a cycle of thousands of developers entering through hackathons, education, resources, support, projects that start to form, which are through accelerators, grants, and mentorship, and then projects that become businesses through major ecosystem funding and growth support. And that's an important flywheel that will, kind of continuously open up new applications and new use cases, new tooling for the Filecoin ecosystem. And then at the bottom here, we have miner growth. These are tools and resources to help miners incubate, grow, prosper, expand geographically. Now, over the last 3 months, all of the teams that are presenting today were in this kind of middle section, but today marks an important moment where we start to transition into businesses, and some of these teams will become ecosystem multipliers themselves, where they open up entirely new use cases or bridge different ecosystems. So this is an important kind of transition that will happen over the next few months, and we're so excited to support you in this. Okay, so I figured I'd take a step back and talk about these different components and some recent updates with respect to them, and then we can circle back and talk a little bit about some advice as you continue your journey as entrepreneurs within the ecosystem. So, ecosystem multipliers. What is an ecosystem multiplier? So, an ecosystem multiplier is something that has a major impact on ecosystem growth. This inspires major use cases for Filecoin. It brings hundreds of new developers to the ecosystem. It bridges to other Web3 ecosystems like Ethereum and others, and it bridges Web2 and Web3 using some fundamental tools like IPFS and Filecoin. These are all led by strong ecosystem collaborators. A few prior examples of ecosystem multipliers included Consensus, which helped really bridge the Filecoin and Ethereum ecosystems. Some of the companies like Infura and MetaMask and Truffle and others started building tooling where Ethereum developers can easily use the Filecoin tooling and store files across chains. Similarly, Powergate, which was developed by Textile, this was a great ecosystem multiplier. It was some fundamental developer tooling where any developer, whether it's a Web3 dev or a Web2 dev, could enter and really use Filecoin in a very easy way. Now, recently, over the last month or so, a whole new set of ecosystem multipliers have popped up. Chainlink has integrated with Filecoin as one example, and this opened up a whole new set of examples for decentralized storage solutions to Web3 developers. Chainlink's a leader in decentralized Oracle solutions, and what this integration really opens up is a world of possibilities where smart contract developers can access a full Web3 infrastructure stack, including blockchains for on-chain logic and state changes, Chainlink oracles for off-chain communication and computation, and Filecoin for decentralized storage and data solutions. LivePeer has joined the ecosystem and has expanded their kind of foray into Filecoin by running a co-mining pilot. And what this really does is open up a world of possibilities for decentralized video on LivePeer and Filecoin. This pilot basically enables Filecoin miners to become LivePeer video miners, and those miners as a whole can be leaders in decentralized video by offering transcoding, storage, and retrieval all together. And so this opens up a whole new world of use cases for decentralized video on Web3. Truffle expanded their developer suite onto the Filecoin network, which is a big deal for new developers that want to enter the ecosystem and want to make use of tooling without having to run a full node or anything like that. The launch of the Truffle suite includes 3 new features: Truffle Preserve, which very easily backs up files to Filecoin, IPFS, and Textile buckets; a Filecoin flavored ganache, which is a one-click experience for developers to create Filecoin apps; and a Filecoin Truffle box, which is an easy example of a Filecoin app that can mint NFTs and provide decentralized art gallery applications. And so for developers that want to get started on Filecoin quickly, or very specifically want to create an NFT style marketplace, these are great tools for them to use. There are many new activities within the browser ecosystem. And so Brave natively, it actually became the first browser to offer native IPFS integration. And IPFS integration gives Brave's users easy access to the protocol while improving the overall resilience of the internet. This is so important because all of Brave users can now be a part of the IPFS ecosystem. And similarly, IPFS launched on Opera Touch on iOS, which is extremely exciting. This means two things. One, Opera has added support for IPFS addressing to Opera Touch, their iOS browser. And secondly, it's also added support, or will be adding support for IPFS addressing in the Opera desktop browser for Windows, Mac, and Linux. And that'll be coming in their next release. So together between Brave and Opera, we're entering a whole new foray of ecosystem multipliers within browsers. FileHive launched a decentralized data market, which is an open marketplace to upload, maintain, and buy data sets. Now, this is extremely exciting because it opens up a whole new set of use cases for developers and users on top of Filecoin. It leverages the Filecoin network to incentivize the storage and licensing of data sets, which are retrieved from the IPFS network. And this basically allows any user to start to monetize their data sets by uploading it on this marketplace, maintaining it, and then enabling others to license or buy them. So this, I think, opens up an example of a whole new set of Web3 use cases involving data markets on top of Filecoin. Microsoft Ion is now working with IPFS, which is extremely exciting. Ion is a public identity network providing distributed public key infrastructure through decentralized identifiers. And the Microsoft and IPFS communities have actually been working together since 2019. And so IPFS can now come in at the storage layer of the picture where Ion aggregates transactions into batches and adds those batches to IPFS. And this opens up a whole new world of use cases within decentralized identity. Fleek is now automatically archiving their files on their extremely awesome storage solution onto Filecoin. Fleek Storage is this amazing Dropbox style interface where you can drag and drop and organize your files in a privacy preserving way. And so this now hosts and stores to IPFS and archives to Filecoin. And this opens up a whole new wave of consumers that can use IPFS and Filecoin really easily using a Dropbox style interface. My mom could actually use this. So as an ecosystem multiplier, this is very powerful for folks within Web 2 that want to use Web 3, but that want an easy interface for storing their files onto decentralized storage infrastructure. And then finally, IPFS and Filecoin are, of course, becoming the default tooling for NFTs. You should check out the new website on nft.storage. This is a really easy way to store NFT data on IPFS and Filecoin for developers. And so it gives you some really easy primitives and tools to use as you think about NFT applications. And Consensus, which is really exciting, has launched this sidechain called Palm, and has made a foray into NFT art with folks like Damien Hirst, some renowned artists all over the world. And of course, they'll be partnering with IPFS and Filecoin to some of the fundamental primitives. This is just the tip of the iceberg with respect to NFTs. There's lots and lots of applications that are using IPFS and Filecoin for NFTs. And so we could probably talk about that in a whole separate video. Awesome. So we talked a little bit about ecosystem multipliers and the fantastic activity there. We'll move on to the middle section here, developers, projects, and businesses. I think the first thing I'll say is that the developer community on Filecoin is very strong and growing. Outlier Ventures released this report recently. It's part of an annual report that tracks the developer activity on blockchains. And Filecoin was the #4 actively developed blockchain in the space. And we think that over 2021, 2022, the momentum around developers building on Filecoin will continue to accelerate. Now, in order to accelerate that, we've been participating in a lot of hackathons. In just the last month, we participated in ETH Denver across IPFS and Filecoin, at NFT Hack, which was led by ETH Global, where 182 projects were submitted across IPFS and Filecoin using that technology. Chainlink, which kind of is a natural extension of the ecosystem multiplier we just talked about. And that's actually, a really exciting hackathon that opens up a whole new world of use cases between Chainlink and Filecoin for smart contract creation. So check out some of the submissions there. There were hundreds of developers that are participating using Chainlink, IPFS, and Filecoin. And Gitcoin's GR9 finished up last month, which was really exciting. I think there were 35 submissions on IPFS and Filecoin, which were really awesome. Filecoin Frontier, which we're celebrating today, is actually the second accelerator that has taken place on the Filecoin network. The first one was called Filecoin Launchpad. It was led by Tachyon, which is a consensus company. And there were 13 teams that graduated a few months ago. They received 3 months of mentorship and coaching through a variety of use cases. And most of these companies have now secured funding, which is really exciting. I'll list a few examples. Powerloon, which is a new trust protocol. They generate verifiable snapshots with cryptographic proofs and put that on the Filecoin network. Huddle, which is a video conferencing solution using IPFS and Filecoin that has scaled to developing economies. And Secured Finance, which is a DeFi, opens up a whole new world of DeFi use cases on top of Filecoin, including yield curves, structured products, cross-chain settlement, etc. Of course, today we're celebrating Filecoin Frontier, which was an incredible program led by Long Cash Ventures and a whole set of mentors across the Filecoin and IPFS ecosystem. And there will be many, many new accelerators that will be launched in 2021 and 2022. I'm super excited to start to announce these over the coming months. They're going to be really, really big and span all geographies from North America to Europe to Asia and more. Finally, at the tail end, there's actually a lot of funding available for really successful startups that are trying to grow into businesses in the ecosystem. Fenbushi is one that I'll highlight here. They raised a fund that was over $20 million and have already made a number of investments within the Filecoin and IPFS ecosystems. They've been incredible mentors to some of these companies, and I'm excited for them to continue, helping companies grow in the space. And Wabi has also entered the foray with a $10 million incubation center. And so they are also investing in the Filecoin and IPFS ecosystems, mentoring companies. And they'll be also featuring a whole bunch of events across Asia through 2021, which is super exciting. There will be more ecosystem funding to be announced as well, which is really, really exciting. And so there'll be lots of opportunities to get really great, mentors and advisors as you continue to scale your businesses. So as a quick overview of the middle section of the funnel here, developers, projects, and businesses, I'll also touch on miner growth, which is kind of the underpinning to all this. Miners are, of course, the backbone, providing the fundamental service on the Filecoin ecosystem. These are just a small subset of the miner logos that have been active participants in the ecosystem, and this chart needs to be updated because a lot has changed. Within the mining ecosystem, the network has now reached new heights. There's 3.8 exabytes on the Filecoin ecosystem, and that was only in a 6-month span. That number continues to grow every day, and that's really enough to store 1 billion HD movies, 17,000 Wikipedias. There's a lot of storage here to be used for the benefit of humanity. Filecoin miners are all over the world, and many of them have really professional storage facilities, as you can see in some of the diagrams and snapshots here. And there are even more larger industrial parks that are starting to form. This is a particular one that will be launched over the next 5 years that has attracted over $1 billion in investment, which is really, really exciting. Mining power continues to be very decentralized across the Filecoin network, increasing in geographic presence. North America and Europe particularly, and Australia are continuing to grow their miner presence. And there have been a bunch more new community forums led by different miners, and different implementations of the Filecoin protocol coming to fruition. Venus is led by IPFS Force, Forest is led by ChainSafe, Fuhan led by Soromitsu, and Lotus led by Protocol Labs, which continues to bring a level of security and differentiation to the Filecoin mining ecosystem. And then, over 6,000 open source contributors have continued to contribute to the Filecoin ecosystem, which is great news. And the miners are also investing in the Filecoin ecosystem, funding ecosystem projects, launching applications, participating in Filecoin Plus, finding and storing new data sets, and ensuring a strong communication and presence in the community, which I think all of us here are grateful for. Great. So that was just a quick snapshot of the ecosystem activity across ecosystem multipliers, developers, projects, and businesses, and miner growth over the last month or so. As you can see, there's lots going on in the ecosystem and continues to reinforce the notion that Filecoin is really a community of thousands of folks that are building together towards a common goal. And of course, this is exactly where the teams that are presenting today will be playing, transitioning from projects into businesses, and many of them will play as ecosystem multipliers as well. Now, I wanted to leave the groups here with a few parting thoughts for the developers and entrepreneurs in the Filecoin ecosystem. First, you are all pioneers of a movement. So I'd encourage everyone here to be ambassadors for others looking to join. Really, the quality of the Filecoin community will dictate the success of the ecosystem. So as the early adopters in this room, please be welcoming and helpful to new developers entering the ecosystem. This could be, mentoring a team or an individual. It could be leading a hackathon or joining a hackathon and acting as a mentor or advisor. Or it could be coaching, various projects that are starting to form and develop new use cases in the ecosystem. So please, you are pioneers of this movement. Please be ambassadors for those who are looking to join. 2, take ownership of the Filecoin protocol and its roadmap. The Filecoin protocol is yours to evolve. If you think there are things that are missing or gaps or potential improvements to be made in the protocol or the tooling layer itself, please work with the community to enact that change, submit a FIP, or make a proposal. This is a really important part, and we'd want everyone in this room to be owners of the Filecoin protocol, because that's effectively, what you are. And 3, take a long-term view of this network. We are absolutely just getting started. My first startup was actually, the first camera app for the iPhone 1. This was like a decade ago. It was called Snapshare. It was actually the top photo app within the iOS kind of developer ecosystem. Now we have the earliest version of filters and social sharing functionality. And while that startup didn't make it to the big ones, it inspired a whole bunch of other mobile apps to join. And our team learned the fundamental tools of building mobile apps on the iOS ecosystem. So many of our team members moved on and became the engineers of major iOS companies that worked on startups and really defined the mobile app industry as you know it today. That's just one example of how entering the ecosystem early will enable you to be huge kind of contributors to the ecosystem, taking part in all sorts of growth of the ecosystem for decades to come. So my encouragement here is for everyone to take a long-term view. We're just getting started with the Filecoin ecosystem. Awesome. So that's my talk. Thank you very much for listening. I congratulate all the teams that are presenting today for everything that they've accomplished to date and for the incredible future and bright future that awaits them in the future. You could reach out to me anytime. I'm protocolling on Slack. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Colin, for the comprehensive overview and the great inspirational messages. With that, we have come to the end of our demo day. We want to once again thank everyone for being part of the journey, Protocol Labs, Fenbushi, Hashkey, our mentors, investors, and everyone tuning in here today. We also want to invite you to join us on this exciting journey. Like I mentioned at the beginning, if you wish to speak to any of the teams, please scan the QR code which should be popping up right now, or click the link in the YouTube description, or visit our website at longhashventures.com/Filecoin. This has been Filecoin Frontier Accelerator Demo Day, powered by Longhash Ventures. Now, right before we go, we also have a special message from our friends at Consensus who are already recruiting for their next cohort of the Filecoin Accelerator. So let's play that, and after that, we'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Gabriel. I'm the Managing Director of Tachyon, and myself and the Tachyon staff want to congratulate the founders of today's demo day. We couldn't be more excited and enthusiastic about the future of Web3. For those of you unfamiliar with Tachyon, let me start by telling you a little bit about what we do. Tachyon is part of Consensus Mesh. We've collectively incubated and invested in more than 100 projects and companies, including some of the key pillars of the Ethereum ecosystem. Companies like Infura, MetaMask, 3box, Pegasus, Truffle, Gitcoin, and many, many more. Since 2017, Tachyon, which is our accelerator for the most ambitious early stage Web3 founders, has launched 4 cohorts, and we have 53 active alumni. We've had the pleasure of working with some phenomenal Web3 startups, companies such as Nuo, Idle, Transact, Outlet, PlyDAO, and many, many more. Twice a year, we bring together the most ambitious Web3 founders for an intense 12-week sprint to hone their value proposition, test their assumptions with real customers, and prepare for the next phase of investment and growth. And we're excited to announce that applications are now open for Filecoin Launchpad Accelerator 2, powered by Tachyon. This is our second FLA cohort in partnership with Protocol Labs, following on the heels of a very successful first cohort. And we're excited to continue supporting ambitious startups, building on top of the IPFS, Filecoin, and Ethereum stack. We're looking for teams specifically focused on building developer tools, file management systems, core end user infrastructure, basic applications, and novel Web3 interactions. So if you're a startup building core infra and dev tooling, if your startup is creating novel and native Web3 applications, or if you're helping to expand the Web3 user base, we'd love to meet you. 20 teams will be selected for our September 2021 cohort. This is a 100% remote program. Teams will receive 80K in seed capital, one-on-one mentorship with a vast global network of Web3 builders, entrepreneurs, and investors, weekly programming to help your startup move rapidly through the product maze on your path to becoming a high-growth, venture-backable business. The program culminates in September with a demo day. So applications are now open. To find out more, to see the list of mentors and advisors, to apply to the cohort, or to book 15 minutes office hours with the Tachyon staff, go to mesh.xyz/Tachyon. That's mesh.xyz/TACHYON. Applications for this upcoming cohort close at midnight Eastern Standard Time on May 9th. We look forward to meeting you. And again, congratulations to the founders of the Filecoin Frontier Accelerator. We're extremely excited and proud of you.